Sarah comes from dropping Beatrice and she is at the town square staring at two people kissing. She meets Juan coincidentally and she comments that it's been a long day and it's quite cold. Juan, being a gentleman, takes off his coat and gives it to Sarah despite her saying that it's not necessary, she was just commenting. They see Juan eating maize and Sarah suddenly feels like eating some maize. They decide to go get some from the vendor and Juan keeps staring at Sarah with that smile. A special moment is created. They are about to establish a connection which may have led to a kiss, but Sarah asks about how Severiano saved him and Pedro and really ruins the moment. Juan tells her that he doesn't feel like talking about that now. She goes on eating her maize. Julieta finds Mateo at the ranch house. He is repairing his motorcycle and again he asks her to run away with him and live together for their relationship. He tells her that he'll give up the inheritance for her, but she rejects him, telling him that he's drunk and by the way running away from his problems isn't a choice. Deborah and Sarah meet at the house and Sarah is surprised to see her there. She tells her that she's here to pray for the Del Montes. Like WTH, Deborah is the devil. She later warns Sarah that Juan's closeness to her is because he wants to manipulate her and leave her without an inheritance, but Sarah doesn't believe that. Juan is different. Deborah tells her to ask for money to pay for the mortgage, but Sarah doesn't want that. She suggests that Deborah should just go and pray because it's the only thing she knows how to do. Mateo takes off in his motorcycle despite Julieta and some ranch workers trying to stop him. The chase continues. Pedro advises Juan to be careful and we hear Mateo's thoughts saying why he should live if he's going to be feeling this horrible all his life and he has an accident. We see Mateo down there semi-conscious, remembering the moments he had with Julieta when they were young. Julieta cries and Modesto tries to ask her what is going on between her and Mateo. He wants her to tell him the truth because he's so experienced to know that she's crying for Mateo and not Juan. In fact, she loves Mateo. She manages to walk away. Deborah arrives and as always comments sarcastically. Modesto tells her to leave Julieta alone. Everyone goes to check up on Mateo and Juan tells Simon to call the ambulance, which he does after overthinking anyway. He tells them that it's coming. Pedro and Lucas nearly get into a fight but Sarah calms them down. Mateo faints. Brandon gets back to her mom's store and his mom congratulates him for working hard. Dulce and Marta arrive at the shop and Brandon is surprised to learn that Dulce be working at the shop. He asks why she didn't text him and she reminds him that he never gave her his number. He remembers that yes, it has been complicated, mostly with the things that have been happening between them. Marta is shocked with that, between them, but she's told that they're talking about the fight. The Del Monte brothers show that they really care about Lucas. They are all worried about him. The ambulance approaches and they all help out. Deborah follows Julieta and tells her that she wants them to be allies. She wants to help her separate Juan and Sarah because she too doesn't like it. Rosa is at her shop really mad at Beatrice for missing work yesterday. She asks where she was but doesn't want to hear the explanation. She fires her immediately but then reconsiders after learning that there must be something juicy gossip she might hear from her. Mateo yells at Sarah in the hospital despite her trying to be nice to her. Juan tells him to calm down and he advises him to change because he's hurting the whole family. Mateo cries and asks for forgiveness. Cornelio goes to see Paloma and asks her if she knew what was happening between Pedro and Beatrice, and yes, she did. Cornelio blames himself for being a fool who didn't notice anything. He tells her that he loves Beatrice but he isn't sure he's ready to forgive her, as if she needs his forgiveness. Lol. But again, Tadeo is his everything and he's not going to lose him. Like, dude, respect yourself anyway. Paloma advises him that love can overcome anything. Juan and Sarah share some deep moments after Juan apologizes for his stubborn brother anyway. She understands. As they keep bonding, holding hands and exchanging looks, Lucas rushes in and he's here to take care of Mateo so Sarah and Juan can just go back to work. They talk about the project between Lucas and Alondra and Juan is quite not happy as he claims that Lucas is doing things without his approval. He just hopes that he hasn't announced it on social media yet. Sarah eases the moment of tension. Mateo opens his heart and tells Lucas that he's in love with Julieta. Lucas seems oddly shocked by this rather obvious news. Alondra works on an announcement on a project that she is to work on with Lucas. Bertha looks at her computer screen and talks a little bit about it anyway. Later she asks Alondra if she knows what's going on between Jessica and Prospero, but she says she doesn't know, though her reaction says she does.